Okay, we're back here at Emergency Management again. You know, we're preparing for the hurricane season, which is normally in the fall time frame, as well as certainly we'll indicate today the preparations that we're making not only to be prepared for what potentially could be coming our way, but also, you know, as the winter season hits. So good morning, everyone. I'm joined here today by our Lieutenant Governor, Sabina Matos, along with Emergency Management Director Mark Pappas, Department of Transportation Director Peter Alviti, and Brian Schuster from Rhode Island Energy. We've had quite a week here in Rhode Island. I don't think I've seen such fast-changing weather around in my lifetime, and I don't ever remember getting so many tornado warnings on my phone as people in the state of Rhode Island have. Yet we have weathered the storm in many ways, although there has been impacted areas, particular impact areas in certain cities and towns. But in general, Rhode Island has done well and hasn't needed to put an emergency order in as some of our bordering states have. There's been a lot of interest in the weather and in Hurricane Lee this week. So ahead of the weekend, we wanted to give an update on our preparation efforts and the latest weather forecast. It's good news, by the way, and we're smiling when we don't have to deal with weather patterns that could potentially cause property damage and in the worst case scenario, having safe public safety at risk. We have been in constant contact with the National Weather Service this week, and yesterday I had a great call with FEMA Administrator Griswold from the federal government, and know that this is a all-in federal, state, and local regional strategy in terms of addressing these weather conditions. The latest models show that Rhode Island will be spared from the brunt of the storm, and we aren't expecting the hurricane to reach land in Rhode Island. So I'll repeat that. We're expecting the hurricane not to be reaching land in Rhode Island. But some areas of our state will still feel strong winds and rain that we need to be aware of. And if you're along the coast, down by our beaches, please use caution. Listen to your public safety locally and on statewide. We're still expecting riptides and dangerous condition. This isn't the time to go for the end of summer swim this weekend. Let's make sure we're cautious. We've had circumstances where we have put people in danger because of decisions that they've made to go into the water in a way that does not make sense for the individuals that are risking their safety and also the safety of our public safety that would have to actually respond to an emergency. And Rhode Islanders should know the state is prepared for whatever storm comes our way this season. The week was an excellent test for that. Throughout the week, our entire state government mobilized to ensure we were responding to flooding and preparing for the potential impact of Hurricane Lee. Yesterday in this building, we brought together our entire cabinet and emergency response professionals to walk through a hurricane tabletop exercise that we have annually. Earlier this week, EMA quickly reached out to all 39 cities and towns to work on assessing damages caused by the flooding. They will continue this outreach and stay in close contact throughout the weekend. Yesterday, I had a meeting with our office, with all the municipal leaders as well, to bring them updated with our Director Pappas and others providing information to our local communities so that we know that that's a strong connect there. So when we get the information, we want people to know that the local communities also have that information. And we encourage our local communities to provide this information to the residents, and the residents should feel comfortable calling their police station, their fire station, their town, city halls, and get the most up-to-date information. We also have been very concerned about our local businesses. Commerce Secretary Tanner was out in Providence visiting businesses who experienced significant flooding to help identify potential support. That effort is ongoing. Just like we responded to Block Island when they had a fire there a few weeks back, We know that not only is public safety very important, but also the, the viability of our small businesses and our business community. We need to continually be connected with them to make sure that our economy is not impacted in a way that could cause us long-term, economic struggles. DOT was continuously clearing drainage areas and preparing tree removal equipment, and Rhode Island Energy activated additional crews to ensure we were ready for any potential outages. And we'll hear more about that during the comments by Rhode Island Energy. But I do want to publicly thank them for being preventative in their work and bringing in crews that we know are very important, because outages of power, whether it's electric or gas, compound the problem, and in many ways cause the biggest dangers that we have. This preparation effort was truly a team effort, including our municipal leaders. So before I turn it over to the Lieutenant Governor, I want to say thank you to all our public safety and our municipal leadership for being available and being prepared to help us address these issues, not only on the short term, but also the long term. Thank you to the EMA professionals, both at the state and local level, who have been preparing for potential storm, and all of our agency directors. Thank you to the media for keeping the public updated, which is very important, and thank you for being here today. And thank you to those of you watching at home for getting ready and staying prepared. And I would repeat again, as I've done in the last few days, this is the moment in time when the residents of Rhode Island should be working to be prepared as the upcoming season comes, whether it has to do with hurricane conditions, tornadoes touching down in our state this week, and also the upcoming storm season that we will continually be keeping you posted on. So let's keep our guards up over the next couple days, just in case, and please stay tuned for updated information. And I'll turn it over now to our Lieutenant Governor, Sabina Matos. Sabina?
Thank you, Governor. Thank you. Good morning. The State Emergency Management Advisory Council, which I chair in coordination with Director Pappas, with plans for extreme weathers like this one year round. I want to commend our state local emergency management agencies for carrying out those plans admirably. While we're fortunate that we will be experiencing just the outer edge of this Hurricane Lee, this is a reminder to all of the municipalities about updating their hazard mitigation plan. You have to have that plan in place and updated to make sure that you qualify for a reimbursement in case of an emergency. Those plans, updated plans, don't just keep your community safe, they also are key in helping the community to be able to apply for the BRIC grants from FEMA. The Emergency Management Advisory Council is available to help any municipality that needs to update their plan or wants more information about the BRIC grants. Right now, the application will normally opens on the fall. The ones for the last season already closed. Getting through this event like a hurricane requires that all of us are working together. We need everyone that is watching right now to do two things for us. First is to make sure that your own house is ready in case of a storm or an emergency. Please go to ready.gov. And FEMA has a lot of information there about how to have your home ready in case of an emergency. Second, I just want to ask all of you, remind all of you to be a good neighbor. Please check on your friends and family and your neighbors, especially the seniors and people with disability. Make sure that they are okay. We are going to get through this storm together. Please stay safe, be smart, do not put your life at risk. Now, if you allow me, I'm going to say this message in Spanish also. Nuestra agencia de Emergency Management Advocacy Council, el cual presido en coordinación con el director Pappas, está preparándose todo el año para casos de emergencia como este. Es un trabajo que hacemos todo el tiempo. Quiero tomar este momento para elogiar el trabajo que las agencias de emergencia locales han hecho para responder a esta emergencia. Yo me reuní con la directora de emergencias de Providence y fui a visitar uno de los lugares que estaba inundado. Ellos están haciendo un trabajo maravilloso. Aunque tuvimos suerte que el huracán Lee no ha hecho estragos acá en el estado de Rhode Island y no estamos esperando que va a hacer tantos estragos en las municipalidades. Sabemos que van a haber vientos y que van a estar afectándonos y todavía debemos de tener precaución. Superar un acontecimiento como un huracán requiere que todos trabajemos juntos. Necesitamos que todos ustedes hagan dos cosas por nosotros. En primer lugar, asegúrese de que su propio hogar esté preparado para esta tormenta. FEMA tiene mucha información que usted puede usar para preparar su hogar si visita la página ready.gov. Segundo, por favor, sea un buen vecino. Compruebe que sus familiares, amigos y sus vecinos, especialmente las personas mayores y las personas con discapacidad, estén a salvo y si necesitan algo para estar preparados, ayúdelos. Por último, quiero recordarles que para superar una situación como esta, la vamos a superar todos juntos trabajando en colaboración. Por favor, manténgase a salvo. Sea listo, por favor, manténgase actualizado con las informaciones que se están presentando. Y le queremos pedir un gran favor. Este no es el momento de ir a la playa a tratar de ver las olas o tratar de ir a nadar. Este no es el momento. Por favor, no ponga su vida a riesgo y la vida del personal que tendría que ir a socorrerle en caso de una emergencia. Así que, por favor, manténgase atento a las informaciones que le vamos a dar y mantenga su vida a salvo y ayúdenos a mantenerlo a salvo. With that, I return back to the governor.
So we'll take questions, and then all the directors will be available to answer specific questions. So, anybody with the first question?
So do we have any financial assessments of the damage from the storms earlier this week yet?
Director Pappas?
Good question. We're still assessing the damage. Been in touch with all the municipal leaders across the state and the tribe to get all the data on any damage that occurred during the tornado touchdowns. That's in progress.
So with regard to Hurricane Lee,
Yes, sir.
are you all breathing a sigh of relief?
A little bit today. Staying to the east. Expect windy conditions tomorrow, maybe gusts 30, 35 miles an hour. The main focus down the coast, make sure people don't go down there. Wave action is going to be pretty heavy.
You're still activated.
Right now, our activation level is in monitoring. We're not expected to go above that, but we can pivot if conditions worsen.
Are you talking about dredging drains, clearing debris, making sure in case there is any heavy rainfall?
So that message has been also communicated down to the community levels, and I know Director Alviti, who's here, his folks are doing that too, so those efforts are, I'm sure, ongoing.
Director, you've got a little update on that? On the work that you're
Sure.
done?
Sure. During the last several days, our crews have been out, not only clearing the drains and making sure they're all clear, but also cutting loose limbs, looking at trees that overhang our highways. We've had crews out and we've had contractors out, making sure that anything that might fall is already cut down. And they're standing by, certainly during the storm, to do whatever cleanup and clearing that needs to be done to support Rhode Island Energy and the state police in keeping the roads clear.
¿Saben alguna página hay para información en español o número de teléfono?
En la página de FEMA que le dije, ready.gov, ahí hay muchas informaciones. Es como siempre también pueden llamar los números de las ciudades, como la ciudad de Providence tiene el 211 para cualquier información y siempre pueden también comunicarse con la oficina del gobernador o mi oficina. Gracias.
For Rhode Island Energy, please remind me of your name.
Brian Schuster, I'm the head of external affairs for Rhode Island Energy.
Thank you. You had a release out yesterday that talked about bringing in or having 2,000 people available. Are you dismissing them or are you?
We are not. We are still opening our operations centers this afternoon, and we'll be staged and staffed for the duration of the event. So we will not release any of our resourced crews until, the event has passed us. We are, with any of these types of events, there's always uncertainty. So, we are prepared for widespread outages, but we hope that doesn't occur.
And how many operating centers do you have?
We have one primary operations center in the Providence location, but we're able to decentralize that as need be into a few other locations, either up into the Lincoln area and south and down to North Kingstown if necessary.
A lot of homeowners have suffered severe damage to their homes this storm season, and I think more could be expected, maybe not with this storm, but in the future. Are there any funding streams available for homeowners who have already suffered damages, or any funding streams available for homeowners who want to fortify their homes?
Yeah, I think that as you're talking about the, and by the way, we're very fortunate in Rhode Island to have minimal type of damage, on a statewide basis, where, Massachusetts and more recently, a few weeks ago, Vermont had to call emergency, declaration of emergency. We have not been in that position. So what I would say to individuals that are having trouble, they should be really talking locally. We're talking to the local leadership about any individual circumstances. I know there's something going on in Cranston right now. We're in contact with the mayor's office, but that's a local issue that really the best place to go is locally. They know whether they have any type of local, funding or assistance. Also, if you're displaced because of what you just talked about, the Red Cross is very actively working with our EMA director's office to make sure that there's help to those who potentially might be displaced.
We're going to take one more.
Governor, I'm curious, one of the objections I've been hearing from the public is that although everyone understands the need to prepare and make sure all these resources are marshaled, the most likely scenario tomorrow is going to be a cloudy, windy day in Providence. So how would you respond to people who are calling this a kind of a fizzle overreaction? What advice would you give?
What I would say is count our blessings. That's what I would say. Just because we find ourselves in a spot today where it's not as dramatic as we have had in the past, doesn't mean that we're not pleased about that, and they should be as well. So the preparation continues, and I think that's the point of our discussion today, although I can tell you, as we announced this morning about the independent man on the State House, when we started to hear about that as a potential issue, we were very concerned because we weren't exactly sure which direction this hurricane was headed in. So what I would say to the people in the state of Rhode Island, we're relieved, and they should be as well, because if you go through even what was just referred to in a small way, this is life-changing type of experiences that could potentially be there. For us not to be in a situation where we're going to get a direct hit or some sort of a real strong hit in a hurricane, this is good news for the people in the state of Rhode Island.
Thank you all for coming out today.
Thank you.